from WDW with me again. Just making a quick video in relation to this. This offer that's been released exclusive for UK and Ireland guests visiting Walt Disney World upcoming next year, 2026. This offer is about free dining and free drinks. Now it is about the Disney dining plan. One of the most decisive things when it comes to Disney fans when they visit Walt Disney World. We'll dive into it. I'll give you my thoughts on it. I'll run through the small print of the offer, and I'll explain the dining plan and how to use it, what's best for you, what's maybe best for other people, why one will suit the other and not the other. We'll dive into it, we'll look at it. I'll give you my thoughts on it, and I'll explain the decisiveness that this does cause amongst Disney fans worldwide when visiting WDW. So let's first of all look at the offer that's been given out for UK and Ireland guests exclusive. They're planning a holiday in 2026 to Walt Disney World in Florida. Now, this free dining, as I say, is basically the dining plan being offered for free, depending on what resort you stay at, i.e. level of resort, whether it's your value resorts, your moderate resorts or your deluxe resorts, is what you get included for free in your offer. So depending on where you stay will determine the level of free dining plan that you get. These can be fully upgraded. Any resort you're staying in, you can pay to upgrade to the maximum or up one level, etc. So when you are booking, these options will be available for you to upgrade where needed, and I'll explain to you about the offers, what they involve, what the credits involve, you know, your snack credits, meal credits, refillable mugs, etc. I'll go over all that in this video for you, try and make it a little bit easier for you. But yeah, let's get back to the small print of the offer though. Now, for the UK and Ireland guests that are thinking about a stay at Walt Disney World in 2026, between the 29th of April 2025 and the 5th of November 2025, both dates inclusive, you must book your stay if you want to qualify for this deal of free dining and free drinks. As I say, that's the 29th of April 2025 to the 5th of November 2025. Inclusive, to qualify for this offer, you must book your 2026 stay at one of the resorts at Walt Disney World. Now, within 2026, there are some dates that are blacked out. This offer is not going to be available for you during these periods. And excuse me, but I'm going to have to read them from what I've scribbled down, just to make sure I give you the most accurate information I can. So apologies for this. Dates that you will be given the offer for your stay will be between the 7th of January 2026 and the 30th of March 2026. Again, both dates inclusive. So if you're arriving at those dates, you will qualify for the offer, as you will for the 13th of April 2026 and the 7th of October 2026. Again, both inclusive, and if you're arriving between those dates, you will qualify for the offer. And finally, the 22nd of October 2026 to the 19th of December 2026. Again, both inclusive, and if you're arriving between those two dates, you will qualify for the offer. Now, as I've already highlighted, the plan that you will receive for free within your stay is dependent on the level of resort that you're staying at. So, for example, Walt Disney World have three standards of resorts, mainly. You have your value resorts, you have your moderate resorts, and you have your deluxe resorts. So, for those value resorts stays, for example, one of my favourite resorts, Pop Century, or your All-Star movie, sports, music, you know, these are your value resorts. If staying in these, you will qualify for it's an abbreviated quick service plan. So you will receive one meal credit a day. For your moderate resorts, for example, your Caribbean beach, etc., you will qualify for the full quick service dining plan, which is your 2 meal credits a day, your 1 snack credit, and the refillable resort mug. Your deluxe resort, we're looking at Grand Floridian here. One of my best stays I've had in Disney World, albeit it was one night for a special treat after me and my lovely lady got married in Florida. if staying at one of these resorts, you will qualify for the full Disney dining plan, which includes one sit-down meal credit, one quick service meal credit, one snack credit, and your refillable mug again. So that's just to break it down for you in what plan you will qualify for free depending on where you're looking at staying. So that's me touched on the offer that is available to UK and Ireland guests as of the 29th of April 2025, looking to book a stay within the dates that I've highlighted earlier in this video. In 2026, you will qualify for the free dining plan and free drinks. Let's get into the main crux of the video now. And a lot of people might be asking, what is the Disney dining plan? What does it include? How do I use it? Is it for me? Is it worthwhile? If you're getting it for free, it's obviously worthwhile. But if you're thinking of upgrading to the next level or the full Disney dining plan, I'm going to break it down for you and explain as best as I can. This is kind of complicated to some, and especially if you've not used it or you're not aware of it, it can be quite complicated, overwhelming. I'm going to try and give you it in the simplest terms I can. I think a lot of Disney dining plan videos that you see out there can be overcomplicated and can be quite complex. So I'm going to try and break it down as simply as I can for you. And we'll have a look at all the levels of a dining plan that you can get and use within your stay at the resort. So we'll crack on with it and I'll explain just in basic terms what is the Disney dining plan. So what is the Disney dining plan? Basically, this is you paying Disney up front for your food costs during the stay. Not all of your food costs, but the majority of your food costs are what you're going to encounter within your stay in the Walt Disney World Resort. The Disney dining plan is only available to guests staying on site, so within a resort of some sort. There are some good neighbour hotels, etc. that you can get this on as well. Just check that with any travel agent, etc. that you are using. As I say, you're paying up front for your food and you get what's effectively known as credits throughout your stay. Now, as I've already touched on, the Disney dining plan, each level has different amount of credits that you're entitled to over your complete stay within Walt Disney World. And we'll just quickly break down what you get again with each of the dining plans, and then I'll explain what a credit actually includes when you go to use it. So as I've already highlighted, the free dining plan that you get included in your resort stay depends on the level resort you're staying on. So for example, those that are looking at a value resort, and as I say, Pop Century is included in that, and that is one of my favourite resorts to stay at. You get what I call the abbreviated quick service plan, where you get one meal credit if staying at a moderate resort. You get the full quick service plan, which entitles you to 2 meal credits, 1 snack credit, but also included in that is the refillable resort mug. Your Disney dining plan, the top level of the plan, it includes your 1 table service meal, your 1 quick service meal, your 1 snack credit, and also your refillable resort mug included in that price. To give you a breakdown of the cost per person per night that these offers are, that are going to save you money, I don't have the figures for the abbreviated quick service plan. I do have figures per night, per guest, if you were to pay for the quick service plan or the full Disney dining plan. Now, for the quick service plan, each person, each adult I should say, cost the equivalent of £48.99 per person per night. And for those young kids, 9 and under, over 3, they will be £19.99 per person per night. So that's just to give you an idea of how much each person per day, or per night of your stay I should say, is going to cost for the dining plan. For the full Disney dining plan, including those sit-down meals, for an adult 9 years and over, you're going to be £78.99 British pounds per person per night of your stay. For those between 3 and 9, i.e. children, you're going to be £24.99 British pounds per person per night of your stay. So again, it breaks down the price per night of what a person has effectively in food credit a day. It also shows you how much, if you want to be successful in using the dining plan to its full capacity, how much you should be looking to spend within the parks on food when you're redeeming your credits. And I'll go through that. I'm going to use Pop Century as an example, and I'll go through exactly what you can get for each credit. But I just wanted to break down the price, and just it gives you a level of, right, I should be looking to spend £48.99 British pounds a day on food, or else the dining plan isn't for me, if that makes sense. Now, you've heard me say the word credits or meal credits quite a lot in this video already. So for example, in the quick service dining plan, you get 2 quick service meal credits a day. A quick service restaurant in Walt Disney World is one where you go up to a counter, order your food, get it in a tray and take it to a table and you eat your meal. That is a quick service restaurant. Most resorts have their own quick service restaurants, and within Walt Disney World resort parks, there is a multitude of quick service restaurants, and the most quickest and efficient way of getting some food and keeping on the go to get those rides you want done, those shows you want done, i.e. the quick service plan is exactly it. It's a quick service food so that you can go on to the next thing in your day. Now, within that meal, you will include an entree and whatever side it does come with. You might get to pick your side. Most likely or not, if you're, for example, having a bacon cheeseburger, it will come with fries. But that will be included in your meal credit. Also in that meal credit is a beverage of your choice. Now, for those 21 and over, that beverage can be alcoholic should you wish. If not, it can be a Coke in the park or a bottle of water, etc., a milkshake, etc. I will go through, as I say, in Pop Century, and I will explain exactly what you can get in a meal. I'm just trying to break it down as simply as I can just now. A snack credit can be anything from an extra side on your plate to dessert. And again, these are highlighted on the menus that you will see in the park with a little Disney Dining Plan logo, which I'll put up here. Look for this. That indicates that that item qualifies as a snack credit that you can use. For the full Disney Dining Plan, slightly differs from the quick service. Instead of having the 2 quick service plans, you do get 1 table service meal. Now, a table service meal is one where you make a reservation, you go in, you're sat at a table and you're waited upon. That's a table meal credit. Now, included in that, you get an entree and a dessert and a beverage. Again, over 21, that beverage can be alcoholic should you wish. That is your table service meal. Now, for signature resorts, signature restaurants, I should say, apologies, or even character dining, some of these will take 2 table credits per person to have that meal. For example, Cinderella's Royal Table at Magic Kingdom, if you wish to have breakfast with the princesses, that will cost you 2 of your sit-down credits. So just to be aware of that, if making reservations for your sit-down meals, make sure and check how many credits that is going to cost you. The majority of them will be 1, but there are those signature resorts and also some of the character dining will be 2 credits. So just keep an eye out for that. And again, as I've already said, in that Disney Dining Plan, you get a quick service meal, which I've already touched upon, and a snack credit as well. Now, for the WDW with me family, we have used the quick service dining plan previously on our stays within Walt Disney World Resort. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't go without having a dining plan. For me and my family, it benefits us greatly using the dining plan. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, this is so decisive. You can ask one person who's visited and used the dining plan and they'll say, it's worth every penny. You can ask someone else, not worth the penny. The biggest thing to maximise this value of the dining plan is to use every credit you get. Now, when you arrive, your credits are loaded onto your room card key, or if you're using a Magic Band, loaded onto your Magic Band. You get all of your credits loaded on the first day for your entire stay. Now, you do not need to use the set credits a day. For example, if you wanted to, within 3 days, you could use all of your allowance. Or some days, you don't have to use any. They will roll over. That is important to note. And the most important thing is, you must make sure you use these credits. If you don't use credits, you've lost out on money. And for you, that dining plan is potentially not been worth it. So you need to maximise the credits and use every single one of them available to you. One of the other ways of maximising your money that you get per credit is for those guests over 21 that are drinking alcohol. Your alcoholic beverages, when you go to quick service restaurants or your sit-down restaurants, your alcoholic beverages are going to start at least $15 plus. So that's already a maximum increase on your $4.75 or your $5 for your soft drinks. So those that do drink alcohol and are over 21, have an alcoholic beverage where you can or where you wish with your credit. That will maximise the value of that credit. It's one of those things that a lot of people don't know, that even at a lunch or breakfast, if you wish, you can pick up an alcoholic beverage with your breakfast and stick it in the fridge in your room for later. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You can use those credits, if you are paying for breakfast with your dining credits, you can use that to have an alcoholic beverage at that time in the morning and stick it in the fridge for later and have it later, nice and chilled. As I said, for the WDW family, we enjoy using the dining plan. We feel as if we get our money's worth out of it. And as I've already highlighted, some people say it's not worth it, some people say it's worth it. For us, it's worth it. And included, as I said, in the quick service dining plan and the Disney dining plan is one of these. This is your resort refillable mug. This you can refill as many times during your stay within a Walt Disney World resort. Any resort, doesn't have to be the one you're staying at. You can fill this as many times as you like. There is a 10-minute interval between each fills, but other than that, you can fill this as much as you like. And this is insulated. It can be filled with cold drinks and hot drinks. So if, like me, and you absolutely love Joffrey's coffee at the resort, fill this as much time as you want with Joffrey's coffee. Absolutely no limits apart from that 10-minute interval. Now, the resort mugs are roughly $22 to $25 each. As I said, on that value resort, if you're staying at value resort and it's the abbreviated quick service plan you're using, you do not get that mug included, but you're entitled to purchase it for your stay, should you wish. For $22, I would recommend doing this. A fountain beverage at Walt Disney World roughly comes in about $5. You fill that cup 4 times, you've got the value of the cup. You will essentially fill that 4 times within the first 2 days of your stay. So for me, buying a refillable mug on the abbreviated quick service plan would be a bonus as well, just to make sure you've got that. As I touched on, you can take your resort mug with you to any other Walt Disney World resort and fill it up within the machines there. It will recognise the chip, etc. in the bottom of the cup. You cannot, however, use these resort mugs within the parks. The cast members will not fill them up for you. Should you be desperately requiring water, they may put water in it for you, but they will not fill it with sodas or fountain beverages. So just bear that in mind. A tip that I do, I fill, when me and my family go, we've got 4 refillable mugs. We fill the 4 of them before we leave the resort in the morning, and we've got a drink there, getting to the park, getting in the park, and it normally does us the first half hour of the park. So we've already kept ourselves hydrated. Well, for me, it's coffee, kept me caffeinated. So just make sure you fill them up before you go to the parks. And even within the parks, for example, Magic Kingdom, if you happen to leave the park and go to one of the other resorts, for example, on the monorail, the Polynesian resort, for example, fill it up there. Again, you've saved yourself $5 by having to purchase a fountain soda or a bottle of soda. So just keep that in mind, that you can take them with you. And for those midday retreats from the park, visit another resort, you can fill up the cups there, and you've essentially saved yourself $5 of buying a bottle within the park. Right, I really want to get in round about the use of the dining plan and try and show it as simply as I can with using, I'm going to bring up snapshots of the dinner menu at Everything Pop Shopping and Dining, which is a quick service dining location within Pop Century. I'm going to bring that up and I'm going to explain to you what you can choose on your meal credits and what would be qualified as a snack. So I'm going to start with that. We're going to go through it page by page of the menu. I've snapshotted them. I'm going to try and do it as clearly as I can to explain, you know, how to use the dining plan and, you know, how to get the best value for your credit. As I said, I gave you earlier those monetary values of what it costs per day, per guest for the dining plan. You want to try and at least equal that, or else you've wasted money by buying the dining plan. So let's dive into it. Now, I'm going to explain the dinner menu. It will apply to the breakfast and lunch menu as well, just swapping out the entrees. The entrees will be different from breakfast to lunch to dinner. There's no difference in what I'm trying to put across. That what's on the menu is what you get for your credit. I'll explain where it says maybe it comes with fries or a side of your choice. You get to pick that. Or if you want another side, that would cost you a snack credit. So I'm going to now fully try and explain this to you so that you can maximise the use of your dining plan on the quick service plan. The first image I'm going to bring up here is the entrees menu. The first couple of pictures are going to be entrees, sorry. Now this is, for example, in your dinner, in your quick service resorts, this is going to be your burgers, your hot dogs, etc, etc. Now, as we can see on this first picture, we have the salmon entree. Now this one comes in at over $16. This is a great use of a credit if you like salmon. Now on here it does say it comes with a side. That side will be included for your credit. You will get that as part of your meal. You then can pick your drinks, and I'll touch on beverages as we go through this. And again, for those over 21, this can be an alcoholic beverage, which I will show you at Pop's Entry, start at a minimum of $15 each. And that will all be included in one credit. So as we keep going through, you will see burgers and fries, you know, they all come with it. You'll see the foot-long chili hot dog that comes with fries. That's all included as in your meal. Some of them will say a side of your choice, where you get to pick your side. Pick your side, that's included. Now on this quick service restaurant and other quick service restaurants across Walt Disney World Resort, you'll see the option for a large pizza. Large cheese pizza or a large pepperoni pizza. Now these are 16 or 18 inches in diameter. I believe they're 18 inches. I can't find the size just now. I'm pretty positive they're 18 inches. Now this will cost you 2 meal credits. But for that, you'll get the pizza, you will get 2 drinks. Again, over 21s, this can be alcoholic or a drink of your choice, which I'll go through in the menu. And for me, using a snack credit to purchase garlic breadsticks, which again, I'll show you that are on the sides menu, this makes a complete meal for 4. This is a meal that I do quite often, and this feeds the 4 of my family entirely. It is more than enough for 2 meal credits. Now, bearing in mind, for my family, I have me, an adult, I have my wife, an adult, my eldest child is an adult. We have 6 meal credits to use a day between the 3 of us. And this I can get for 2 meal credits in total, saving some credits to use the next day if I wish. This is a meal that I would recommend if you're in a hurry, you just need something quick to fill the family. This is a tremendous offer that I would use and use well. And again, along with an alcoholic beverage for the adults, a great use of 2 credits. Absolute great use of 2 credits. Next, we see the Disney Check Kids meals. These meals have been checked by Disney and for a nutritional level, a certain amount of calories, etc. These are, for example, a healthier option for your kids, should you be looking for that. Below that, you will also see the regular kids meals, which normally includes chicken strips, burgers, hot dogs, and a slightly smaller portion size. Now, what I do have to highlight here is, if one of your guests is of between 3 and 9 and classed as a kid, where there is a kids menu option, they have to order a kids menu option for their credit. In options where there is no kids menu, they can choose an adult meal. So just please bear that in mind. The next slide we see is the sides I was talking about. Now these sides themselves, if you were to want to purchase on top of your credit, so for example, if you get that bacon cheeseburger that comes with fries, but you decide you want another side of those garlic breadsticks. Now if it has this little logo beside it, which we've already discussed, it qualifies as a snack. So you can use your snack credit to buy an extra side should you wish. So just bear that in mind. If the entree does say with a side of your choice, you can choose any of these options to come with your side, your main meal. So please just bear that in mind. Should you wish an extra portion of something and it has this symbol, you can use it as a snack credit. Next, you will see desserts and bakery. This is the most common use of a snack credit. Again, looking for this little logo. Anything there can be used as a snack credit within the dessert or bakery. Bakery, more so for the morning with your croissants, your pastry items, desserts, etc. Even those limited time event cupcakes, etc. As long as it's got this little logo, can be used as a snack credit. Even if they are now pushing on to $10, $12 worth of value. A great use of a snack credit. Now, if we look at the next few slides, this shows the extensive list of beverages that are available at Everything Pop dining area. This list will differ from restaurant to restaurant, but as you can see, this is quite an extensive list of beverages. Anything that's on this beverage list can be used as the beverage for your credit. So for example, if you're having that foot-long hot dog and you've got your fries, anything that's on this list that you can see can be chosen as your beverage of choice. And again, for those 21 and over, that can be an alcoholic beverage, which you can see on the images. Some of them come in at $17, $18 worth of value, which is a great use of a beverage. Now, I'm not saying everyone has to go and drink alcohol to beat the dining plan, if you will. It certainly does help. If you do enjoy a cocktail here, there, use your credits to get it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. It will help you with maintaining the value of your plan and getting your money's worth while you are in Walt Disney World Resort. As you can see there as well, a fountain beverage, $4.79. As I've already said, your refillable mug, should it be included with your plan, or if you've got the abbreviated quick service plan and you've bought that mug for $22, $25, you fill that 4 or 5 times, you've made your money back in that cup. That's why I will always recommend the refillable mugs. If you are looking at beverages, etc. and that, as I've said, the cups are insulated. They can take hot and cold. So like me, fill your boots with coffee if you wish. I've tried to explain that as simply as I can. That's as simple as I can make it, explaining what you can get for each credit on the quick service dining plan. Now, for the Disney dining plan, where you get a sit-down meal, the other options there, the one quick service and the one snack and the refillable mug, that's the exact same as what I've just explained for the quick service. So I'll go into detail explaining the Disney dining plan sit-down table credit that you use and what's included in that. As I've already touched on, a table service restaurant is one where you have to make a reservation at a table where you get waited upon. That's as simple as I can put the difference between a quick service and a table restaurant. Now, in your table restaurant, you will get a full menu. Your table credit will include an entree of your choice with its accompanying side, a dessert, and a drink of your choice. Again, 21 and over, this can be alcoholic. That is what your one meal credit will cover. No matter what the cost is of what you've chosen, that will cover it. That is inclusive of character dining. Now, for example, I've done a little bit of research into this. Cape May Cafe for breakfast is a buffet breakfast with characters. From my understanding, what I can see in the Disney World website, that is one meal credit, one table meal credit. Now, I went there a couple of years ago, and that breakfast cost me, for the 4 of us, roughly about $280. your 1 table credit will cover that meal. So that kind of gives you an idea of what you can use. As I've touched upon, there are some restaurants classed as signature restaurants. These signature restaurants will cost 2 table credits each, and some of your character dining will be 2 table credits each. I've already given an example of that. Cinderella's Royal Table within Magic Kingdom will cost you 2 table credits per person. So that's just to give you a little idea into the table service kind of credit and the ideas of what you should be looking at there. Again, refillable mug, quick service, snack credit is the same as what I've just explained with regards to Pop Century, etc. and your quick service restaurants, no matter what the menu is, apply the same logic. Now, one of the big things I do need to cover with the Disney Dining Plan, quick service plan, this does not include your gratuities, especially when it comes to your sit-down meals. In America, for those UK guests visiting for maybe the first time, it's customary to tip. This should be, should you have had good service, around about the 15% mark. Your table credit dining does not cover gratuities. You will have to pay that out of pocket when it does come to the time. Again, the same with your character dining. Again, where you've been waited upon, it is customary to tip, and it should be around about that 15% mark. Should you have a party of 6 or more, there will be an automatic 18% gratuity added on to the bill. Again, your dining credit will not cover this. This will have to be paid cash, card, whatever method you're using. So just please bear that in mind when it comes to the dining plan. As I touched on earlier, with regards to the quick service plan, that's the one that I've used the most often. For me, the Disney Dining Plan, including that sit-down restaurant meal, I wouldn't go for that one, simply on the basis of, for me and my family and our activities of how we like to do the parks, etc., an hour, possibly 2 hours out of each of our day for that sit-down meal doesn't justify it for our family. Yes, we would love to go for a sit-down meal, character dining every day while we're in the parks, etc. and that. But for my family, we feel it just takes up too much of your part time. So please do bear that in mind if you are thinking about upgrading to the Disney Dining Plan. Have you got the time for those sit-down meals a day and how you want to do your visit to Walt Disney World? As I said, for the WDW with me family, it takes up too much of our day. So I've tried to explain the dining plan as best I can and how to maximise the value of it. But just to touch on some of the tips that I've found out that I work upon, and let's call them some WDW with me tips. Here's some following things that I would suggest. Use your snack credits wisely. Don't use your snack credits on a bag of crisps or chips, if you will, in America, or a bottle of water. Pay these out of pocket. Look to maximise your snack credits as much as you can. Get that cupcake at $8. For example, in Hollywood Studios, you can get a funnel cake that's $14 as a snack credit. So try and maximise where you can your snack credits use. And on the back of that, at your Epcot festivals, most of the food offerings at the booths, the festival booths, can be purchased with the dining plan, snack credit. Again, looking for this little logo. Anything with that can be used as a snack credit. So keep an eye on that. It's a great use of snack credits. If you're struggling to use those snack credits, visit Epcot for the day, go to the festival and try as many of the different foods as you can. Exactly what the WDW with me family do. If you find on your visit that you and your family need that breakfast, lunch and dinner, pay breakfast out of pocket and keep your meal credits on the quick service plan, etc. for your lunch and dinner. These meals are typically more expensive than breakfast. Breakfast is the cheapest meal of the day to buy in Walt Disney World. So if, for example, you are needing those 3 meals a day, pay for breakfast out of pocket, use your quick service credits, etc. on your lunch and dinner. Again, getting the most value for your money with the dining plan. As I said, I try to do that as simply as I can. It can be quite complex and overwhelming for those that haven't used it. But if anyone does have any questions, please feel free to message me. Instagram, Facebook, or I've got my own personal email, darren@wdwwithme, all one word, .com. Please feel free to contact me on any of those social media platforms, and I will try and advise, explain anything that's maybe not been the clearest in this video further if I can. So please, please drop us a comment, a like and a subscribe if you will, and thanks again for listening.